Welcome back, guys, to another video with me, the Stonk Dad. I wanted to get on here and do a backtest video with you over the convergence tool. I know I do this every single week and I talk about convergence all the time, so this is going to be a lot of fun, like it always is. I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining what the convergence tool is, as more of it's just going to be like a backtest video on how well it performed over the last week. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, it did not perform as much as I would like it to have. I wish it performed a little bit better, but you know, as with everything else, it's not going to be 100% perfect. So just remember that, guys. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, so what you see here on the screen is the market net flow chart. Obviously, it tells us what is in the lead here between calls and puts, bulls and bears. This is Friday's chart, so we're going to go back to Monday, the 14th. So this is Monday the 14th. It looks phenomenal, actually. So I think Monday was one of the best days for convergence. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that, pull it on over here like I always do, and then here down here is the convergence bars, which tells us the strength between price action and flow, if it's going in the favor of flow or not. So the green is obviously bullish, and then the gray is opposite because calls are above here. So keep that in mind when I'm going through this. Green is bullish, red is bearish, but if it's gray and calls are above, in this case scenario, it would be to the downside, either chop or opposite of flow, which would be down in this example. So right here, as you guys know, I do not count the first 15 minutes of the market. I always wait for flow to settle and for data to come out a little bit more. And that usually happens within the first 15 to 30 minutes of the market. I kind of get a better idea of what's going on. So I never count any of the flips here. So these two green dots here signified that it flipped green, but it did not. I don't know why it did that, but sometimes these tools here with the dots especially and the triangles for gray convergence, they don't come up all the time, so just remember that. But this was definitely 15 minutes after the market opened. It was green around here after the gray. It kind of caught that little spike up and it came back down, retested an EMA, I'm guessing, or VWAP or something, and then we spiked up. So this green convergence here did absolutely great. So this caught about a $2 to $3 move or so on SPY to the upside. So that was a really, really good one. And then it flipped gray around this area, which you could have exited or gone short, and that would have been like $1 to the downside. And then it flipped green again, which it did catch. Ooh, goodness. Let me redraw that. That was horrible. So you can see there it signified us with a little green dot when it flipped. It looked like it only moved about 50 cents or so, and we do count that as wins. If it's 50 cents or above, we count the ones as wins if it goes up in our favor. So that one was a win. So this one was a win, and then this one was a win. But yeah, usually it's the midday ones, especially like this one. The midday flips of green are not the best ones to get into because it's always choppy during lunchtime. But nonetheless, that still did pretty well. And then we got one more good flip at the end of the day, which that one caught $1 or $2 move or so as well. So that one actually went 3 for 3, which I'm very, very happy with. Let me post that over here so I can have it. Okay, posted there. All right, let's move on to Tuesday. Once the week progressed, guys, I remember that convergence didn't do the greatest of jobs. So let's take that. So this was a bearish day. Obviously, we had some bearish flow, but calls did come up quite a bit. But it looks like it did catch a... So this one was before 6:45 a.m., so before the 15-minute mark. But nonetheless, it still was red a little bit after. A little bit after that for that 15-minute mark. So you could have gotten in around there a little bit after that red dot, or maybe even after this pumped up a little bit, and you could have wrote it down a little bit there about a $1 or $2 move to the downside, which that did pretty well. And then this one was This one was a win. And then this one here, it looks like it went down slightly, but then it went back up. So I'm going to count that one as a loss. That one was a loss. And then I'm actually going to put L there and then W. And then this one, it did flip gray here, but then it flipped back red, and that one looks like it did pretty well. So that one went down about $1 to the downside. That one was a win. That one did pretty well. And then this one too, it did flip gray for a couple minutes, and then it flipped red again. That one went down about 50 cents or so, but you did get chopped out, so I'm not going to count that as anything. That one will just be a wash trade. Because it did chop around for a little bit. So this red convergence, and then, ooh, actually it looks like it flipped red again here. And that one you would have just kind of chopped out. So that one would have been a loss, actually. That one there. But then it did catch it again around here. So that one made up for that loss there. Okay, so it looks like we got 1, 2, 3 wins and 2 losses. So 3 for 5 on Tuesday. Not horrible, not horrible. Okay, let's move on to Wednesday. We're going to run through these real quick, guys, because I don't want this video to bore y'all. So Wednesday was one of those days, I think that was the FOMC minutes day, and that was pretty crazy because we got some, not crazy moves, but some movement. But flow was pretty stagnant for the most part of the day. So let me screenshot this. You can't even see the convergence, but you can see here. It was pretty much gray the entire morning. It looks like gray. And then it did flip red here. It's kind of hard to tell because the this large one here at the end of the day kind of drown out all the other ones. But this one was a win. Red convergence. That caught about $1 or 2 move, $1.50. That one did pretty well. Oh, this was a whole red convergence here. It doesn't look like it flipped gray at all. So yeah, that one did good. And then this one here looks like it flipped. You could have scalped it a little bit. That one was a win. That was a good one. And then this one here too, it was small and it did flip gray, but nonetheless, you could have still hit a good play there. And then again here. So these were all wins actually. 1, 2, 3, 4 wins and no losses. Okay. And excuse the kid in the background, guys, if you hear. So that one went 4 for 4. And then Thursday. Aspen, can you not make big, loud noises, please? Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, maybe this was FOMC. I can't remember, man. All these days blend together. But this was a huge mess. Look at this flow. Look how close it was. That's embarrassing. Man, you can't even see the flips here. Man, I can't even see it down here, so I don't even know if I can predict it. I can see a little bit of green here, and then maybe a little bit of green here. Man, let's see if this even moved at all. Maybe a little tiny bit. I'm not even going to count these guys because the convergence is so hard to even see. But, I mean, nonetheless, this one did pretty well. That one was a win. I'm just going to count at least one of these as a loss, so it's just going to be 1 for 2. Aspen, I'm trying to record a video, kid. Stop making loud noises, please. So that one went 1 for 2. You guys get a concert too with a 4-year-old singing too in the background, if you guys heard that. Okay, so Friday was a huge mess with convergence. I think that, yeah, this one, especially in the morning, it was super rough because it was green, red, green. There's like no, you can't even do anything with that. So especially when flows this close together, I tend to never ever play convergence plays. So we're going to count. We're just going to count these as washes. I'm not even going to count those or wins or losses there. But it did kind of divert a little bit here. Calls kind of came above. But when they're touching like this or within like $1 million, it's almost never a good idea to play. But this green one did well. This looks like it was green for the entire, like, up until lunchtime, it looks like. So that caught a couple dollar moves to the upside, which is awesome. And then that gray convergence did well too. But then it flipped again towards the end of the day, within the last 2 hours of the day. And that one caught a nice move to the upside, about $1 or $2 as well. This one did bad. This one was actually a little small flip, so I'm going to count that one as an L. And then it looks like this one did okay. It did flip, it looks like right before the pump, and then it kind of dumped there. So, I mean, if you would have scalped that, you would have been okay, but I'm not going to count that one as a win or a loss either. So that one went 2 for 3 because of the price movement at the end of the day was kind of crazy on that one. You probably would have either gotten out at break even or you would have had to scalp that one quick. So let's see. So that was the whole entire week. We had a couple losses. I don't think the win rate is going to be quite 80%. It didn't do horrible, but let me tally these up. So we had 3, 5, 9, 14, 17 trades, and then 6, 10, 11, 13 out of 17. What is that? 13 divided by 17 equals, okay, so it wasn't quite 80%, which the win rate is usually, but 76.4% is what the win rate was last week. If you would have taken the ones with like when the flow looked a lot better, like on Monday, those are where you hit the best plays ever. So if flow is very divergent between calls or puts, you can almost confidently play these flips, and your win rate will definitely go up. But if you play on days like Thursday and Friday, when it's super choppy like this and you play flips, it's going to be a rough time. But you want to look for a divergence between calls and puts like it was later on in the day. And then Friday it was kind of rough too because calls and puts were both going up. So it gets kind of messy when they're close together like they were early in the morning, but also if they're both going up at the same time, calls and puts. So that's just something to note as you guys look at these charts. That was the backtest video. 76% isn't terrible for a win rate. I'm excited to see what happens this week, guys. It's a new week. I'm looking to get into some better trades. I only took like 2 trades last week, and one of them was a loss. So stay tuned this week to see if we can catch some good ones. I'm really praying that we get some really nice flow because last week wasn't the greatest and I missed the entire downside move. But that was a video that I already recorded. If you want to watch that, go ahead and look in my channel. And yeah, that was this video, the backtesting convergence. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Shoot me a like and a subscribe. I love you all. I will see you in the next one.